Welcome to The Explainer, where our whole goal is to take these massive foundational texts and break them down into something you can actually use. And today, we are diving into a big one, Napoleon Hill's timeless blueprint for achievement, the law of success. Okay, let's just jump right in with a number that should really grab you. This comes from Napoleon Hill's analysis of over 16,000 people. And what he found was that a staggering 95% of them were, well, in his words, failures. So that leads to the big question, right? Why? Why do so many people struggle just to get by? This became an obsession for Hill. It launched this massive 20-year investigation because he wasn't just interested in why people fail, he wanted to crack the code on why that other 5% succeeds. So his mission was simple but huge. Analyze the world's most successful people and see if there was a repeatable formula. He spent 2 decades of his life trying to answer one thing. Is success just random luck, or is it a science with laws that anyone, and I mean anyone, could learn and apply? And I mean, just look at who he studied. We're talking Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, Andrew Carnegie. These aren't just rich guys. These are the people who literally built the modern world from the ground up. He wasn't studying people who were doing okay. He was studying absolute world changers. And what he found was, honestly, revolutionary. He concluded that success isn't an accident at all. It's a formula. He laid out this blueprint and argued that it could allow anyone, seriously, anyone, to break out of that 95% and join the top 5%. So let's break that blueprint down. Okay, so part 1, where do we start? Not with some grand action plan. Nope, the blueprint begins with the foundation. It all starts right here, inside your own mind. Hill was so clear about this. Before you can build anything out there in the world, you have to win the battles going on inside your own head first. And the first battle, it's against what he called the 6 basic fears. He saw these fears as these invisible chains that hold almost everyone back. They just paralyze you, they kill your ambition, and they pretty much guarantee that most people stay stuck right where they are. And here they are, the fear of poverty, of criticism, of getting old or sick, even the fear of death itself. Hill basically identified the core anxieties that mess with all of us. But he argued that if you can consciously face them head on, you clear out all that mental noise. And that creates the space you need to build the one thing that's absolutely essential for success: real, unshakable self-confidence. And this part is so crucial. Hill didn't just tell people, hey, you should be more confident. That's useless advice, right? No, he gave them a literal formula for it. Think of it like a daily mental workout, a form of auto-suggestion designed to systematically build up the kind of self-belief you need to even try to do something great. All right, so once you've built that solid mental foundation, then you can move on to the second pillar. And this one is all about architecture. We're moving from defense, fighting fear, to offense. This is about designing a clear, powerful, specific plan for your life. He called this a definite chief aim. And this, he said, was the one thing he found in every single successful person he studied. They weren't just dabbling in a bunch of different things. Nope. They were driven by a single, central, burning obsession. This aim acts like your North Star, making sure every single thing you do is pulling you in the right direction. And I love this quote from him because it just completely reframes what we think of as success. He's saying the real treasure isn't the pile of money or the fame you might get at the finish line. The real fortune, the only one actually worth finding, is having a meaningful goal to chase after in the first place. And this is such a perfect example. William Wrigley. He didn't have a dozen different businesses. He had one simple idea: 5-cent chewing gum. But he pursued it with an absolutely relentless focus. And for Hill, that intensity, that concentration on one thing, is the engine that turns a simple idea into a massive success story. Okay, that brings us to the third and final piece of the puzzle. This is probably Hill's most famous concept, and maybe his most powerful. This is the ultimate force multiplier. It's all about harnessing the power of other people's minds. He called it the mastermind. And let's be clear, this isn't just teamwork or grabbing coffee with people. Hill saw this as a literal chemistry of the mind. The idea is that when 2 or more people get together in total harmony, working toward one single goal, they create a third, invisible, and much more powerful mind. It's a consciousness that's way, way greater than the sum of its parts. And you want to see a real-world example? Look no further than Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and Harvey Firestone. Their famous annual camping trips? Hill believed those weren't just vacations. That was a mastermind alliance in action. That harmonious connection was a key source of their power, a way to bounce ideas and energy off each other that just amplified everyone's individual genius. So let's put it all together. The blueprint is actually pretty straightforward when you lay it out. There are 3 pillars. First, you master your inner world. Conquer fear, build confidence. Second, you design a definite plan, your life's chief aim. And third, you multiply your power by creating a harmonious mastermind alliance. That's the formula. And that brings us to the final and most important takeaway for you. This whole entire system, it all hinges on one single starting point. Before you can tackle fear, before you can build a mastermind, you have to answer the most important question of all. What is your definite chief aim?